Just another day for the second gen, hauling heavy. I would say heavy, not real heavy, but it's heavy for a second gen, that's for sure. And I got to get all this stuff moved to the next orchard, and got the water trailer, nurse trailer ready to go. The 3 axles ready, matching goosenecks, both built by us in-house, our custom trailers. We build pretty much all of our trailers for the most part, and because we build them the way we want them to the features and stuff that we want for our operation. But not just the little things and features and stuff. I mean, of course, too, it's kind of cheaper. It's not a lot cheaper building your own trailers, but it's somewhat cheaper, especially if you're, a savvy buyer and you pick things up. Axles that are underneath this trailer, I picked them up used. That made a big difference. Some of the steel, had some of the steel actually here, in the steel rack, our own steel rack. So finding things, recycling, you can build sometimes things for a lot cheaper than you can buy them for. There comes rolling in Senior. If it fits, it ships. Got a little bit of an overhang, but not too bad. Rig's pretty long. It's about the same length as the trailer, but I usually back the trailer up a little bit, back over my ramps, because I like to try to keep some of the tongue weight off. It's a little heavy with the tractor all the way forward, and the tractor weighs about 11,000 pounds approximately, and the sprayer weighs about 1,500 pounds. So it's not a real heavy load, but I don't like to get too much tongue weight, and so I shift it back just a little bit and transfer some of that weight more towards the back axles. So time to hit the road, time to move to the next orchard and knock out more acres. Been working on getting the first orchard that's the furthest ahead. Got it sprayed, worked on that yesterday, finished up this morning spraying it. Got to load up the spray rig, haul it to the second orchard, and drop that tractor off, come back, hook up to the 3 axle with the nurse trailer, bring it out here, get it moved out here. Lots of back and forth. Go get this tractor, move it out there, drop it, go drop that trailer, hook up to something else, pull it out there, getting all the machines and the supporting equipment, everything all in place so that you can get a particular job done. And been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it specifically for a long time. I'm in my 01 Dodge, and I've had this truck for 18 years. Bought it in 2004, had almost 100,000 miles on it, and I put a $250,000 on it, almost a $250,000 since then. And there's something, this has always been such a good truck for me. There's something special about second gens. I'm a second gen guy. I mean, we've got third gens too. Actually we got 3 of them. My wife daily drives an 06. My grocery and beer getter is the Mega Cool Cab. It's an 06, and my dad has an 06 dually. So real familiar with the third gens, but I don't know, there's something about the second gens that are just so iconic Dodge. And in some ways the third gen's really a better truck, but I don't know, like I say, there's something about a second gen that's special. And getting away from the flat build guys with their 24 by 20 or whatever the heck they got on there, outside of that group. But they sound good, they perform well, they're simple, they're easy to work on. Guys like me that are decent mechanics, but they're not the best with plugging into everything. Hey, we can fix almost anything on these trucks, and they perform. That's the other thing, is they perform. And year after year after year, doing this kind of stuff, pulling way over the factory gross combined vehicle weight rating that Dodge put out with them. They outperform those factory numbers times 2. If you got them set up, airbags, you got to have the airbags on there. This is actually originally, this is a single wheel truck, a 2500 single wheel truck. And I went and drove, this is back in about 17. I went and drove a brand new 17 dually with an ASIN in it, and HO is like, yeah, this is a nice truck and I want this. And the salesman's like, that'll be 70 grand. And I said, you know what? I don't want it that bad. So I went home, got the welding helmet on, and built myself a flatbed and pulled the pickup bed off and bolted on the front dually adapters and put myself a set of 19.5s on, and bam, I had a flatbed dually. And because, you know, we all know that other than the Dana 70, because I got an automatic, which goes to show how strong a Dana 70 really is anyway, they're all pretty much the same trucks. This is a Camper Special 2500, so it had the overload pack in it. But I put airbags in and built Suncoast trans on actually Suncoast trans number 2. The first one went 140,000 miles and the converter exploded. And not my fault, really. I don't know, maybe you're weighing 30,000 pounds every week. Maybe it had something to do with it, I don't know. But, you know, it's still 140,000 miles, weighing 30+ thousand pounds every week, and making 350 to 450 horsepower. And trans number 2 went all back in with completely Suncoast components, and I'm at what am I at, 70,000 on this one, so I'm halfway from what I had on the last one. She shifts just as good as it did on day one, and still hanging in there. And so it is amazing how good these trucks are. I mean, I have a 22 3500 cabin chassis limited on order, got my name on it, hasn't even been assembled yet. Can't wait. Can't freaking wait. 12-inch screen, crazy interior in the limiteds, ASIN 6-speed. Yeah, derated a little bit. Got the SO engine in the cabin chassis, but 370 horse, 850 foot-pounds. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it, because I'm not making 850 foot-pounds when I'm loaded. Yeah, I can push 450 horse out of this truck with a Quadzilla Adrenaline. I got a set of small injectors in this truck. But my everyday, I'm everyday tune, I'm making 360 horsepower. It doesn't have 850 foot-pounds. Probably got 750, maybe 800, maybe. So, you know, plenty of power. But back to the second gens, they're performers, they're good trucks, they're simple, they're solid, and Dodge got it right with these trucks. And, you know, some people want to hate on them, and, you know, VP44s and steering, you know what, steering problems and stuff. Sling 1,000-pound Cummins over a Dana 60 and put 4,000 or 5,000 pounds of pin weight on the truck that's pushing on the front too. And are the guys, back to the guys with their 24x24s or whatever the heck they are, sticking way out. I mean, you know, you're going to eat up steering stuff. You're going to eat up unit bearings. You're going to eat that stuff up. I mean, we did it with the older trucks with Dana 60 kingpins and everything. We ate all that stuff up with, you know, big old swampers. And so it's nothing new. It's amazing, though, when they're left alone and they're bone stock. My wife's 06 had the original steering in it at 180,000 miles. And stock tires and wheels. It was actually, surprisingly, still tight. Or fairly tight. And it goes to show, when you slap on wide tires and wheels, or you're pulling around 5,000-pound pin weights all the time, it puts the wear on stuff. Saturday. It's out here in the far west in California. Almonds is full-blown whole split spray time. Everybody in the neighborhood from one end of the valley to the other is spraying on whole split. And what the purpose here is you've got worms out there that want the nuts, they want the almonds, they want to get in, they want to burrow in and create nests and all kinds of nasty things. And people wonder, well, why do you gotta spray all this stuff all the time and all these pesticides? Well, the thing is it's not as bad as it sounds. You know, they're designed to break down either sunlight, water, just natural degradation from being on the soil. They break down and eventually go away, but they do a job in the short term, which is remove pests that we don't want. Because say, oh, well, why does the farmer have to spray all this stuff? Yet, if we didn't, and you opened up a bag of almonds that you got at the grocery store, and you're munching away, and all of a sudden you get something crunchy and juicy, you are going to be one unhappy customer with your bag of nuts. They are going to be disgusting, and you're going to flip out. Find that 1-800 number on the back of the bag and call that company and say, how dare you have a worm in my food? Right? No one wants worms and bugs in their food. That's the truth. So, we spray. You got to get rid of all that stuff. So the thing is that what keeps it safe, you know, for the consumer is here you have an almond. Here's an almond, and it's in just they're about a week apart. See, it's all closed up. Looks almost like an egg. That's the hole on the outside. Here's one that's about a week further along. It's open, like a clam. And inside, then, is the shell. That's an almond shell. So then if we open that up even further, hold please, and what's left is the actual almond itself. Now it's young and it's still immature. It is not ready to be consumed. It still has about, I would say a good 5 weeks before it's ready. I kind of tore it just a little bit. But it's got about another 5 weeks until it's mature enough to be harvested off of the tree. So you've got 3 layers there of protection from the pesticides that we apply that keep the worms off from being able to, that are hanging out on the outside of this hole, waiting for it to open up like a clam so they can go in there and have their meal. So that's the whole premise there, is get the pesticide on the outside, get the worms killed, and keep them from burrowing into the nuts, into the product that you buy at the grocery store and consume and find to be delicious, healthy, and just an all-around good food.